Coming in hot. Tell these people what you're doing with this dumb shit.
We are completely stripping these trailing arms down. We're going to reinforce them with the honed development kit, as well as put PCI spherical bushings in them, so we have to drill them, and then send them off to get coated. So currently, these bolts, it's probably on fire, these bolts have Loctite on them. Yeah, that's really hot.
Stop touching it, stupid.
It's got Loctite on it, and we fought to get one off, and then we're like, let's put a little heat on it. So, you know, we got the man's best friend here.
And they come right off with a little bit of heat, amazingly enough.
Yeah, we had
should have seen the first one.
We had the big impact on it, like, what's going on here? Like, I don't understand. Then we realized, like, you know what we should do?
I mean, to be fair, I've never actually taken one of those off of a trailing arm before. I don't know if you have, but I've never had one that went that bad.
Alright, so
most of the time we were taking drum brakes off and trying to squeeze them into a trash can.
What?
Don't touch that, it's probably hot.
Ta-da!
It's a boy!
So, spindle, trailing arm, completely torn down. Now we can clean it, grind it, weld it.
Needs to go for a ride in the parts washer. And or probably just take the wire wheel to it for starters, but
the stupid thing is it has to go to get powder coated, and I know the powder coater is just going to sandblast it. So what I should do is take it to him, have him sandblast it, and then I'll weld it.
And then he'll sandblast it again, because you'll contaminate the daylights out of it. Okay, I'm going to go grab the other arm and we'll play with that. Alright guys, quick little update for you. Been sitting under this welding helmet forever, but check this out. I've got one arm completely done. That takes way longer than it looks. Trying to get fitment correct, trying to get fitment right. Like, trying to get everything shaped. So this piece of metal, as you can see, is bent. When they ship it, it's shipped flat. So you can see here's the other arm that we have not done yet. So the whole thing needs to be bent and tweaked. So normally I'll start at one end and kind of just tack it, lay it down, make sure that orientation is correct, and I'll just go through and start tacking it little bits at a time until the whole thing's completely tacked up, and then I'll go back through and weld the entire plate. On top of doing the reinforcement plates, these are by Honed Development out of Australia. Freaking love these guys. We went ahead and did the reinforcement for the bottom where the fork attaches, as well as put reinforcement sleeves into here. Let's see if I can show you the difference here. So you can see that there's a sleeve that's been welded into there. This material is this half-inch piece of tubing that we actually cut out and formed to the correct size. So from factory, there's nothing here. So there's nothing really that connects this front plate to the back plate other than these couple of big spot welds here. So adding these gussets help attach the front to the back, as you can see that's been done here. So pretty much what we'll do is take a piece of pipe and cut the piece of pipe down, use a washer. I'll weld the washer to the end of the pipe. Then once the washer is welded to the end of the pipe, I'll put it in, bolt it, back it down to the hub. You can see down in there. So once everything is bolted in together, then I weld it. Then I'll let it cool. Then I'll take everything back apart. So everything just gets sandwiched back together, and it becomes a lot stronger. But yeah, there's one arm done. Looks like that's driver's side. Driver's side is done with welding, and the passenger side is up, ready to go. So probably got another, I don't know, maybe hour and a half welding this one up.
Then these arms are currently stock arms for stock bushings. We have spherical bushings that actually bolt in, so I'll mock that up. I'll have to drill these 2 holes for that. The piece down here, I think this side will get completely, oh sorry, that's for the camber arm. That threaded boss gets completely cut off and removed, and these roll center brackets will go on there. So this is also, again, honed. The honed roll center brackets. I don't know if I've got this on the right side or not, but you get the gist of it. Oh, sorry. I'm over here like, hey, can you see it? Like, yeah. Sorry, guys. So this goes onto here once this gets modified. This will go on, lowering the lower control arm down into the lower pocket. So I think this might be this side, one of these sides. But so once I modify that and drill the holes for the spherical trailing arm bushings, then they're ready to go to powder coating. So hopefully powder coater will have them for a couple days. I'll get them back quick, and then we can get them put back onto the car. Currently at 151 days till race day. So trying to make as much progress as possible. There's just a lot of fab work. It's just fab work, and then some more fab work, and then some more fab work, and then once the fab work gets done, Jesus, man, I am horrible about holding this camera. You're like, hey, y'all getting dizzy over there. Then after fab work, then this spaghetti mess. So get this spaghetti mess done up. I'm gonna try and I think I'm gonna try pull some late nighters and work on this. Obviously this I can work on probably in my house once the lady goes to sleep, and she won't know that I'm doing it on the kitchen counter, the kitchen island. So then I can be in the air condition. Today was supposed to hit like 96, 98 today. It's probably every bit of in the 90s at the moment. I have the garage door closed. Of course, everything is insulated in here. But I was rocking out to some music, and I was grinding and stuff, and I've been trying to be nice to my neighbors. So my neighbors already don't like me. Got a bunch of cars ripping up and down the road and stupid customers that drive like idiots. So, but that's besides the point. Yes. Hopefully I'll start working on wiring when it cools off in the house, so I can get ahead of wiring on that. Then once wiring is ahead, then I can try to get wiring installed. Jesse's been killing it with miscellaneous fab work. Jesse prepped all these control arms for me. Jesse built all of the sleeves that we needed for the reinforcements today. Yeah, time's limited. It sucks. I wish we could literally just work on this for like, I don't know, 20 hours a day. Closing up here. All the trailing arm reinforcements done. I showed you that one. But I was able to get this one up and going here. I got this plate on, I got this reinforcement on. I just need to build these 4, weld these in. I've got the material, I've got the washers, and then I just need to knock off whatever parts we need for these to fit. Once we knock that off, then they are ready to go to powder coat. The local guy is probably, I don't know, not too far from me here. Quick turnaround times. I think after that, we're probably going to concentrate on rear radiator setup. I've got most of the ducting done. I need to rivet it all together. It's multiple pieces. Add a couple more bends and tweak some things, and then mount fans. So the fans that we are going to end up using are those, I think we had showed you, but those massive spall fans. I really like these things. They draw a ridiculous amount of power, but they work really good other than them drawing stupid power. If I were to do it again, I would probably go brushless, but it's PDM controlled, so I should be able to at least pulse them just so they're not super crazy all on at once. The piece of aluminum that's been sitting over by the welder for forever, It's a piece that goes around the radiator, kind of like a clamshell. It goes over the radiator, and it's also the rest of the ducting. So once I get that done, then I can cut out the holes for whatever fans I have decided, which in this case it's those. I can move all this and show you. Stuff everywhere, I say. Electric water pump. A lot of this stuff I've had mocked up for a long time. I was working on it like pretty heavy and then stopped. But the radiator overflow that I built, swirl pot combination piece, this goes right there. Clamps down to that hole. There's a 20 AN here and then a 20 AN here, so I just need to build a short line for there. Stay. And then off of there, there's another 20 AN that'll go all the way up to the front. The bracket for the water pump I've also previously built. I'll get that all mounted up. I've got this line already built. The previous setup had brackets. They mounted right on the other side. They mounted right there and right there. And there was a bar that went all the way across. So it's for the wing uprights. So the car has a pretty sizable wing. Foil is a 9 Lives racing foil. Yeah, so I need to modify that bracket, since obviously I can't have that piece that runs across anymore, since the ducting has to come through there. So I'll need to chop that up real quick, make sure all that fits. Then we can make sure the uprights fit. Then we can finish the ducting. So the end goal is to have the radiator pretty much duct all the way down to come out this hole. So I've already modified this taillight garnish piece, this piece that sits right under it. I did that before it was painted. I have the bumper. I need to put the bumper on and notch the bumper right here for the outlet as well. And then I'm hoping this rear diffuser setup was already set up for a 98 to 01 Integra. So it's the 98 to 01 rear bumper, but I'll have to modify that to get all that to fit again. But once that gets cut out, I don't know if I want to mesh that off right there. What do you guys think? Should we put mesh here? Should I just leave it open? Like it's just going to be ducting. The ducting will end up being just directly through here, coming out. But yeah, that's probably what we'll work on next. All right, quick update on the Integra. I don't even know what day we're at. The 763. Yeah, I can't really zoom, but over there that day's not right. It says 148, but I don't know, we're in the 130s. It's like the beginning of May. Anyway,
May 2nd today.
I don't know what all of you seen. We got one radiator hose done. Well, technically that hose over there is already done, but
it's a good start. Only a good start.
Yeah. So this hose, this is ready. Obviously I can't finish tightening this because I need to finish the shroud setup. So got the material so I can start fan mounting. We can start mounting the big old fans. Jesse got the arms pulled off. We got the arms stripped down. Buddy Justin's probably going to buy the old big brake kit. We've got a different kit that's going to go on. We've already pretty much planned everything out.
It's our current seating
yeah.
arrangement in the car.
Yeah, here's the driver and passenger seat. It really hurts when you're sitting in here on these bars. That's all I need is a second butt crack. But yeah, so we've got all that figured out. All the fittings are here. I got my cutters back. I let Justin borrow my PTFE cutters. I really like these. If you don't own a set of these, just bite the bullet and get some. They work really well. And we got all the plumbing ran for the air jacks. You know, gotta have the air jacks for it to run. Like our.
So we can pull those one pit stops.
Yeah. I think our priorities are slightly messed up, but oh, and we got this mounted. I don't think we showed that, but Jesse and I built a bracket that actually is welded. The bracket is welded directly to the subframe. That's comes right across here. So got the third one installed. Just finished plumbing everything. Everything comes off of this one fitting. I don't know if you can see it, but tees off down into here, and I mounted the valve kind of hidden back behind here. So here's the valve to open, close, but you can take, I'm currently just using my air hose for my compressor, ta-da, and I can take, Jess, you want to, I can't really show up there as I'm turning.
Yep, let me get around this side.
Ta-da! Air jacks. So this stuff's supposed to be good. They said for 350 psi. I mean, it says fuel hose. It's my favorite.
A fuel hose, air hose.
Ish.
Yes,
But
it's functioning.
then at that point, you can close the valve and then take everything back off. In theory, as long as there's no leaks in the system, the
And
vehicle
when you turn the
will
valve,
stay up.
it'll
So as
eventually
soon
go
as
up.
you dump the valve, they auto retract. They're spring loaded internally, so yeah, it's not too bad.
I'm sure it'll be much faster with the weight of the vehicle when they're
Oh yeah,
actually
ended up coming out a little bit farther than I wanted, but my main concern was trying to get this on there, but now that I'm looking at that, I guess, sorry, wow, that was loud. So I guess that could have been way farther in there. So this plate I had it built originally just for the fuel, and then I decided to put this here because it would incorporate and try to be strong enough. This is a piece of steel. Why it's so thick, who knows? But yeah, that's a quick update. We've got the trailing arms are powder coating. What else is a powder coater?
the exhaust tunnel.
Oh, the exhaust tunnel is also at powder coating, so we can get the exhaust tunnel back and get the exhaust tunnel installed, then put the exhaust in. I need to order that fiberglass heat material stuff to put in the tunnel.
We have new wheel bearings and wheel studs coming.
Wheel bearing, yeah, rear bearings and studs will be here tomorrow. Just making progress. So probably now that that's done, something I can check off the list. Probably gonna start on fuel. Oh, we got the fuel filter mounted. So trying to find a decent place for that. Ended up going right there. So I'm probably gonna start on fuel lines and oil lines. This is gonna be an absolute disaster over here, since everything goes to that plate that's back there. So days are blurring together, but spent a ton of time working on the Integra. We've made a lot of progress. Yeah, let me get you up to date here, what's going on here. So Devin redid the EGT plate. I didn't like how that was set up, so I just ended up saying screw it, and we're gonna move the whole entire module out here. So he remade this plate and then mounted this module to this plate. Yes, there will be a heat shield here, so I'm not too worried about this melting or anything, but now that all that's there, all these EGTs can now plug into here. So ta-da! Anyway, so all this, so there's 8 total. 1 in each cylinder, 1 right here on the downpipe, 1 on the collector. They're everywhere. Also got the reservoirs completely mounted up. I don't know if I like it. This one ended up kind of being over by itself, which I'm gonna say I did it like that on purpose. So we're gonna call these the 2 brakes and this the clutch. Makes sense, right? So there's 2 reservoirs because there's 2 master cylinders for the brakes. One's for the front, one's for the back. Other than that, front brakes are completely on, done, ready to go. We got the old junk ESM compliance bushings out. Jesse got the new PCI ones put in. The exhaust tunnel is completely back in. All the plumbing inside the car's done. Made a custom box to mount the shifter. I that came out really nice. I was really happy the way that came out. I wanted to kick this shifter back a little bit just for reach. So it built the box. Some dimple dies on the side. It ain't going anywhere. At the same time, welded into this plate. Battery's gonna go here, and then probably the ABS pump's gonna go here. But yeah. Oh, and the seat is 100% mounted. So the brackets came out pretty decent. I'm really happy with the way they came out. We ended up shifting, the seat a little bit towards the passenger side. A couple different reasons. Mostly because of this bar right here. So trying to keep as much headroom as possible. Obviously, you guys have seen this is the valve for the air jacks, which are in. As soon as I get some wheels on it, then I'll show you those. But here's the two brackets. This is a super sturdy seat. Yeah. Rear brakes, rear trailing arms are back on. This is the new brake setup. So we went from an OEM caliper to a 4-piston rear setup. Also the new PCI, you can barely see them, but new PCI spherical bushings. Oh, and we got Almazar new wheel speed sensors. So I need to finish mounting these. So we went from a VR to a Hall sensor. So this, I reused the factory bracket here. I just need to finish terminating all this. So I'll terminate this into the chassis, and then that should all be done. Working on this currently. So clutch, brake, and we're going drive-by-wire. So trying to figure out how to get this all mounted up. My current thing, just got done spending way too much time on this. I enjoy machining. I have a really, I wouldn't say crappy, okay, I call it crappy. It's a Central Pneumatic mill from 2005. I'm sure you guys have seen me use it before, but I actually have two of them. My cousin, I've got one super cheap for my cousin, but they're all over there hiding behind all that junk. But just got done making this. So this is going to end up mounted to here, and then I got another one of these because I wanted it to match, and then this will end up mounting onto, let's see if I can hold this here. This will end up mounting up to like this. So does that make sense? So trying to find something super strong, super sturdy, but something light at the same time. This material is pretty thick, and it was just overall it was way too heavy. So luckily this is the distance between here and here is just an inch. So I found this 1x2 material. So that will end up sitting on there. That pad will end up mounting onto here, and you can see they kind of line up. So once you get everything lined up, it should be okay. So the pads, I like these pads too because there's 4 bolts that bolted on. So I'm going to do the same with this, 4 bolts that mounted on, and I like it so you can actually shift everything. You want to go left, you want to go right, like you can move the pad itself. So if you need more help hill towing, so I'm going to end up taking this, I'll put this onto here. I will drill and thread 4 holes, and then that will literally just go right onto there. So should be pretty cool. Oh, and there it goes. But that's where we're at currently. Alright guys, we're on I don't know when the last update was. It's been a while. We've just been pushing through. We're on day, like, I don't know, 99, 100 I think.
799.
Yeah, we've only got like 100 days left, 199 days left. We've done, it seems like we've done nothing, but we've actually done a lot. So let me show you. This is where we're at. We've got the intake manifold back off. A couple different reasons. We're changing to a Bosch wideband style knock sensor. I had to fabricate an adapter to go from the 12 mil back down to an 8 mil. there was a couple fittings and stuff that we needed to tighten. It'll be way easier to tighten now that the manifold's off. Devin knocked out a bunch of these grounds. There's 2 in the whole chassis. I opted to go with, they're called rad locks, R-A-D. So it is, it's hard to do one-handed.
Impossible to unlock.
No, they're easy to unlock when you can. So, I don't know if you can see that, but that pin goes in there, and then this is a rad lock. So there's a 4-gauge wire in here. It's all heat sleeved, SCL heat shrink, and it pretty much just slides on and locks on. So makes it super cool. So grounds can easily come on and off. There's one right here. There's one hiding out over there, going to the top of the trans. I think I might do one more. We've got all the brake lines on. Thanks to Brian. Fast brakes, you got to set up with the new brake lines. I've got all the new hard lines built, all the bulkhead fittings put in. We got the ABS module completely mounted. All the lines ran for it. The parking brake valve installed, and all the rear brake lines. Rear brake lines, bulkheads. Yeah, so really happy with the way it came out. I always like doing hard lines, so try to do hard lines wherever I can. People say it's soft lines make the pedal feel weird. I don't know about that, but got the larger brake rotors put on the front, or on the rear. So these are on. New hardware for the calipers. Brian said that there was an issue with those with that hardware, so upgraded the hardware. The rear ducting is pretty much ready to go. Pulled out of storage. This crash bar, the crash bar is also where the tow hook goes. We've got the taillights pulled out. We've got a pretty cool setup going for the taillights. I'm just trying to find a replacement set of taillights. All of the new, so we had different wheel speed sensors. Wasn't going to work out, so I've got the BMW sensors in here and modified. It's hard to see the backs, but the fronts you can definitely see. I just built a real quick bracket to hold them. So this is the BMW sensor, and this is just a stainless bolt that I'm using to space the sensor off of that tone ring. So it's nice as well, because then I can actually adjust the height and set the gap, the air gap on the actual sensor to the tone ring. So that's super cool. Jesse got it valve adjusted. We're waiting on a crap load of spark plugs to show up, so then we can put plugs in it. I pulled all the sensors out of the various different spots, and I built a sensor block. I don't know how well you can see that, but so this is pretty much all the sensors, other than there's one sensor hiding out over here for right there for the exhaust pressure. But this is crankcase pressure and map sensor and coolant pressure and fuel pressure and oil pressure. All of our pressures are all on one block, so it makes it super nice. So I've got all the lines covered with this heat sleeving stuff again. We've got all the EGT. All the EGT wiring is done. I need to find something different. Obviously, these little plastic zip ties are not going to work, but it'll work for now. So that, and I don't like how this came out, but it does work. It's just everything's kind of crammed in there because of how close together these are. I don't know if these are just, these weren't cheap sensors, but I think that maybe these are just cheap, but you can see they're just kind of crammed in there. But I shortened all these cables, re-terminated everything, so all that's done.
Have we covered shifter box, pedals?
I don't know.
I don't remember what the last
I don't
one
know.
was.
We got the shifter box mounted. I don't know if you've seen that, but built a box, welded it in. Now all the shifter and everything is set up. Dustin made me this real cool little diagram. Yeah, ABS, yaw sensors in. Devin did a heck of a job. He drilled out and then made that hardware super flush, and then I welded it from the bottom. So that came out nice. The pedals are in, everything's mounted there. Jesse and I cut this plate right here and shifted the electric column over about 2 inches, a little over 2 inches, to make it more even with the driver's seat, since we did technically shift the seat over a little bit. So that's done. All of the steering works now. I've got all the linkage and stuff done on the, let's see if I can help. Got all the linkage done on the steering. There was a steering quickener that I was going to try to install. I still might try to do something later down the road, but for now this is done, this is together. I should have a quick release soon. I need to figure out what I'm going to do here. I think I'm going to probably either drill a hole all the way through so I can just put a single like 6mm bolt all the way through it, or I don't know if I want to try to get some stainless nuts, weld some stainless nuts to it, and then do like set screws on either side so it can like set screw on there, and then at that point I have a weld on quick release, and then we'll obviously need a pretty large hub, and then the hub will go to the steering wheel.
Put the gas tank vent in.
Other than that, we've got keypads completely mounted, so probably going to end up, all this wiring and everything will tuck up, so I should easily be able to access it, easily be able to see it, so then we can set up warning lights and stuff on the actual keypad. We've got right there, that is the fuel tank vent. That vent runs back over, it's hard to see, but right out this section right here is actually the fuel filler area. So this is actually, it's screwed shut, so it'll never be able to be opened because we removed all the cable and everything. But behind here is actually a filter, so try to keep junk and crap from getting in. The tank does have a rollover valve already in it, so we didn't have to worry about that. But other than that, like, we're pretty much little odds and ends, and I finally found that cover. There was a massive hole there where the factory sender goes, so I got that put in, got some nice hardware on it.
We need to put some,
yeah, we need to get some hardware for the fender flares. We can get those thrown on. We need to try and, when all the body working was painted, everything was just shaved over, so I need to go from the inside. The inside you can see where they were. I just need to kind of go through and drill them back out. So yeah, this paint job is horrible, unfortunately. It sucks when you ask for one thing and you get another thing, and then, oh, it's not my fault. And yeah, I don't recommend this guy at all. I really wish I could put him on blast, but
it's adequate. I don't like the part where
it should be okay. There, you can see there's, especially on the roof, there's really heavy sanding marks. There's somebody just took a DA to it. There's, I don't know, you might be able to see it, but there's runs everywhere. There's runs all over the place. So all over the roll cage, all over, there's literally just runs everywhere. So yeah,
just a 15-footer.
I mean, I think once you wash it, maybe I'll wax it or something, but there will be enough stickers on it that, I don't know, it doesn't really matter.
Stickers and arrows.
Yeah, there's a couple of spots too where the paint's even cracking. So yeah, paint's cracking in a couple spots. It's not really, it's missing a ton of paint, like under the roll cage areas and stuff. There's a bunch of stuff that I asked them to do that didn't end up getting done. But yeah, that's a quick update. Yeah, we'll get the manifold, the upper part of the manifold put back on. We found out this was the old system we had. I bought this brand new. Yeah, so apparently you're supposed to service them every 2 years and stop using them and just discard them after 8 years. Well, that says 16. Oh, I'm sorry, discard after 6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
For that particular
For
brand.
this one, yes. So, I mean, it's still still in the green-ish. So, yeah, unfortunately, this is no bueno, which really, really sucks. So, it's also really big and heavy. So, to replace it, we got the Lifeline. Actually, a lot smaller. It's a little bit bigger in diameter, but this is max life, 10 years. So, that's super cool. Excuse me. So, I need to get all these installed. There it goes. So we can activate everything here. It came with a ton of plumbing. That's literally missing hardware. Chic. I got these really cool carbon fibre pieces. They go over the roll cage to protect the paint. Devin already installed one on this side. It's currently drying at the moment, but you can see all this is carbon fiber, just like high wear areas, like here where I'm getting in and out. Like Devin put one down there. A lot of this is probably going to end up having to get padded too. So getting in and out, like I'm sure I'm going to hit my everything on this. So but yeah, that's a quick update.